It was not the king. It was not the general. It was not the richest man in Athens. The freest man who ever lived slept in a clay barrel and begged strangers for bread. He owned nothing. He feared no one. And when the most powerful man on earth came to meet him, it was the emperor who left rattled. His name was Diogenes, and he is about to ruin the way you see your own life. Picture a man with no house, no bed, no coat but the one rotting on his back. He lived in a large ceramic jar in the marketplace, like a stray dog among the columns. The Greeks even called him the dog. He took it as a compliment, because a dog needs no permission to lie in the sun. Now picture yourself. You have a roof, a mattress, a closet full of coats, and you are more afraid than he ever was. That is the riddle he leaves at your feet. How does the man with nothing fear nothing, while the man with everything cannot sleep? Watch how it started. Diogenes carried one possession he was proud of, a simple wooden cup to drink from at the fountain, his last small claim on the world of things. Then one day he saw a boy at the river. The boy had no cup. The boy simply cupped his hands and drank. Diogenes stared at his own wooden cup. Then he threw it on the ground and smashed it. "A child has beaten me at plain living," he said. Think about what that means. He did not lose the cup. He hunted it down inside himself and killed it. Every object you own is a wooden cup you have not yet had the nerve to break. You tell yourself you need them. He proved a child with empty hands needs less. Now the story most people half remember. Diogenes is lying in the dirt, soaking up the morning sun, and a shadow falls over him. The shadow belongs to Alexander the Great, the conqueror of the known world. Kings trembled at this man. Cities emptied when his army crossed the horizon. He stands over the beggar and offers him anything. "Ask me for whatever you wish," says the master of the earth. "Anything at all." A lesser man would have asked for gold, for a house, a title, a city of his own. Diogenes squints up at him and says only this: "Stand out of my sunlight, let that land." The most powerful man alive offers him the world. And Diogenes asks him to stop blocking the sun, because the sun was already his. And Alexander had nothing he actually wanted. The king could give him things. The king could not give him peace. He already had that for free. They say Alexander walked away stunned and told his men, "If I were not Alexander, I would wish to be Diogenes." Read that twice. The man who owned everything envied the man who owned nothing. That is not a story about a beggar. That is a verdict on every cage you have ever called success. Because here is what nobody tells you about your possessions. You think you own 1,000 things? You do not. Every one of them owns a piece of you. The car owns your Saturday at the repair shop. The house owns 30 years of your fear. The phone owns the first waking thought of your day. You did not buy freedom with your money. You bought 1,000 small masters, and you feed every one of them daily. Diogenes saw this 2,000 years before your mortgage. He understood that desire is the chain, not poverty, wanting. A man is not poor because he has little. A man is poor because he craves more. Give a craving man a kingdom, and by sunset he wants two. Schopenhauer said it with cold precision. Desire by its nature is pain. You want, and the wanting hurts. You get it, and the wanting dies, and you are bored. Then a new one is born to torture you. So life swings forever between the ache of lacking and the dullness of having. And the only man who escapes it is the one who stops the swing. Diogenes stopped the swing. He wanted nothing the world could withhold. And a man who wants nothing you can take cannot be threatened by anyone. That is the brutal secret of his freedom. You cannot bribe a man who needs no bribe. You cannot frighten a man who has nothing to lose. You cannot flatter a man who laughs at your titles. He was untouchable, not because he was strong, because he was empty in the only way that matters. He kept mocking them too. He walked the bright marketplace at noon, carrying a lit lamp. People asked what he was doing. "I am looking for an honest man," he said. And he kept walking, lamp raised, finding none. He was not clever for sport. He was holding up a mirror, and the powerful hated him for it, because the beggar in the barrel was the only man they could not buy. Now turn the lamp on yourself. You are not afraid of having too little. You are afraid of losing what you have, and that fear is the leash. The more you pile up, the longer the leash, but it is still a leash. The richest cage is still a cage, and you decorated yours yourself. You called the bars a career. You called the lock a lifestyle. You called the fear of losing it being responsible. Diogenes would have laughed in your face, and then he would have slept better than you will tonight. Here is the reframe that should sting. You have been taught that freedom is having more. More money, more options, more things to protect. It is the exact opposite. Everything you can lose is a hand around your throat. Freedom is not getting everything you want. Freedom is needing so little that the world runs out of ways to control you. The less you need, the less they own you. The less they own you, the more of your life is actually yours. You will not move into a barrel. That is not the lesson. The lesson is to find your wooden cup. The thing you cling to that a child with empty hands would not even miss, and have the nerve to break it. Cut one desire this week that the world uses to lead you, and feel the leash go slack. Because the man who wants nothing has already won, and the king who wants everything is still begging in the sun. This is Schopenhauer's truth.